All right, thank you. Please be seated. Please be seated, thank you. Just logging in. It's gone really slow. All right, this is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for February 27th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA samples made on the first of the month will also apply to these hearings. And let me double check, did we have an interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor, you do have an interpreter, Felipe Navarro, right. Court interpreter.
Shall I say that again, or did you get it?
The interpreter got it, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Esta es la comparecencia inicial de las 11 de la mañana del día 27 de febrero del 2025. La orden judicial para la toma de huellas dactilares y de muestra de ADN que se expidió el primer día del mes aplica o está vigente para todas las causas en este calendario.
All right, we're going to begin with Mr. Rivera Arnold. Roberto Rivera Arnold, if you please come all the way to the podium.
Vamos a empezar con el señor Rivera Arnold. Por favor, señor Rivera Arnold, pase al podio.
After that, we will do Ms. Bonnell's case. Yarina Bonnell, if you will wait in the chair, please.
Y después atenderemos el caso de Yarnia Bonnell. Por favor, tome asiento en la silla.
All right, sir, may I please have your full name and your date of birth?
Señor, ¿puede darme su nombre completo y su fecha de nacimiento?
Roberto Carlos Rivera Arnold.
Roberto Carlos Rivera Arnold.
Mi fecha de nacimiento es el 14 de agosto de 1995.
My date of birth, August 14, 1995.
All right, thank you. You have been arrested on the following allegations.
Se le arrestó por las siguientes pretensiones.
Aggravated assault using a simulated deadly weapon, which is a Class 3 felony.
Agresión con agravante, utilizar un arma mortífera falsa, lo cual es un delito de categoría 3.
Possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony.
Tenencia de drogas nocivas, un delito de categoría 4.
And disorderly conduct with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, which is a Class 6 felony.
Y conducta escandalosa con un arma mortífera o un instrumento peligroso, lo cual es un delito de categoría 6.
There is probable cause for all of those offenses, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you in this case.
Hay motivo de procesamiento para todas estas pretensiones y voy a nombrarle un abogado para que lo represente en este caso.
Your next court date is a status conference on March 5 at 8:30 in the morning.
La próxima audiencia será una consulta de actualización el 5 de marzo a las 8:30 de la mañana.
And your preliminary hearing will be March 7th at 8:30 in the morning.
Y su audiencia preliminar va a ser el 7 de marzo a las 8:30 de la mañana.
The court address and those dates will be on your paperwork.
La dirección del tribunal y la fecha de esas audiencias estará incluida en la documentación que se le entregue.
You have a $10,000 secured appearance bond.
La fianza que se fijó en su caso es una fianza de $10,000 con garantía.
If you deposit that money with the court, you will be released while you wait for your trial in this case.
Si usted deposita ese dinero, se le va a dejar en libertad mientras usted espera a tener un juicio oral en lo relacionado con este caso.
If you come to all of your court hearings and comply with the court orders, you will get that money back at the end of the case, regardless of the outcome.
Si usted se presenta en todas sus audiencias y sigue las órdenes judiciales, le devolverá ese dinero al final del caso, independientemente de cuál sea el resultado del caso.
If you miss a court date or otherwise violate your conditions, then you could lose that money and there will be a warrant issued for your arrest.
Si usted falta una de sus audiencias o si usted no sigue las condiciones o los términos, entonces usted podría perder ese dinero y se expediría una orden de aprehensión en su contra.
You have other orders that you must follow, which will be provided to you in writing.
También hay otras órdenes que usted deberá seguir y esos se le proporcionarán por escrito.
That includes not going to the scene of the alleged crimes.
Eso incluye que no puede ir al lugar de los supuestos actos ilícitos.
No contact with the alleged victims or witnesses.
No puede tener contacto con las supuestas víctimas o testigos.
You may not possess any weapons or drugs without a valid prescription.
Y usted no puede tener en su poder ningún arma ni tampoco medicamentos o drogas sin una receta válida.
You may not possess or consume any alcohol, and you may not drive without a valid driver's license.
Usted no puede tener en su poder ni consumir alcohol y tampoco puede conducir sin una licencia de conducir válida.
Your complete orders are in writing, and if you'll step to your left, I'll give you your copy. Thank you.
La lista completa de las órdenes se le entregarán por escrito y si usted pasa a la izquierda le entregarán una copia.
Thank you.
All right, Ms.
Thank you.
Bonnell?
Señorita Bonnell, pase.
Good morning, ma'am. May I have your full name and your date of birth?
Good morning. Buenos días, deme su nombre completo y su fecha de nacimiento.
Yorina Bonnell, October 27, 1991.
All right, and ma'am, do you require interpretation, or it may be the alleged victim who does? Wait for her to translate. Hold on.
¿Usted necesita la intérprete o quien necesita la intérprete tal vez es la presunta víctima?
Do
I
you
do
need?
not.
All right, and let me ask the victim advocate, does the alleged victim need an interpreter? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Okay, I'm getting thumbs down. I don't know how it got flagged as interpreter, but let me just have the interpreter make a general call for service, and then we will let her go.
Happy to do so, Your Honor. ¿Hay alguien más que necesite la ayuda del intérprete? Levante la mano, por favor.
Okay. All right, we have no hands. All right, thank you so much. Have a great day. See you next time.
You as well, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Okay. All right, ma'am, you have been arrested on the following allegations. They are assault as a Class 1 misdemeanor and disorderly conduct as a Class 1 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for both of those things, and I'm appointing a lawyer to represent you. That will happen when you get to the Goodyear City Court for your next court date, which I am scheduling for March 19th at 1 in the afternoon, which is about 3 weeks from now. March 19th, 1 p.m. The address in Goodyear will be on your paperwork. Now, before I set conditions of bail or release, I do want to hear from the alleged victim, who my understanding is present in court, wants to be heard. I'll let you know, sir, that I have read your written victim impact statement. Given what you said in there and the defendant's lack of criminal history, I am almost certainly going to release her today. The only question will be whether she has contact with you and under what circumstances. So I am currently planning to order that she not have uninvited contact with you, which is not typical of domestic violence cases. I'll tell you, ma'am, 95 out of 100 domestic violence cases, the court orders no contact, even if the alleged victim is okay with it. But in cases like this, where the injury or actions alleged are not severe, even if true, they're not okay, they still constitute a potential crime, but they're not severe, the person doesn't have criminal history, and the alleged victim indicates they want to have contact. That is when the court will consider permitting that contact. So I do want to hear from the alleged victim, but I just want to let him know what I'm planning to order is no uninvited contact, which means he can revoke that. If between now and when the case resolves in Goodyear, if there's a problem, say 3 days from now, there's a problem, and he says, I don't want to have contact with you, then my orders will require you to immediately stop contact and find an alternative residence. If you violate those and the police are called, you could be arrested at least for the misdemeanor of violating my order. If what you are accused of doing were found to be harassment, which can be a single text that says, I love you, but if a court were to find probable cause for harassment, that's a felony. And so the consequences of violating this court's order are extremely potentially severe. Even if an alleged victim says they don't want to press charges, it is not up to that person. It is now up to the Goodyear City Attorney's Office. And the victim will have the right to call the Goodyear City Attorney's Office and express his feelings and wishes and consult with them. He has rights to talk to them. But it is not up to him. And so I would certainly encourage you, ma'am, if I permit contact with him, do not engage in what we call witness tampering, which means trying to persuade this person not to testify or not to go forward, because that's another felony. And even when it's just a misdemeanor case, we typically set high cash bonds for allegations of witness tampering. So, understanding all of that, let me hear from the alleged victim if he wants to supplement his statement. If you're okay with what I'm planning to order, you can just say, I don't need to be heard. That's up to you, sir. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor, for that ruling. I am in agreement with that. Just want to say thank you.
Okay, so just so you understand, Ms. Bonnell, and certainly it's helpful to have the alleged victim in court so he understands as well. Uninvited contact means whatever the police interpret to be uninvited when they get called and told that you're violating the order. So I encourage you to do nothing that could be interpreted by a responding officer as uninvited contact. So if you get a text from the alleged victim that says, I want you to move out today, you just got uninvited and the police will arrest you if you violate my order. So I encourage you to take that very, very seriously, to try to maintain the peace while this case moves through the process. It sounds like you probably have one or more children together. If you want to continue to effectively parent your children while the case is happening, it's critically important that you comply with these orders. These are keep-away orders intended to keep the peace. You are presumed innocent in this case. You have the right to a trial. That being said, it is literally a crime to violate the order I just gave you. Could be a misdemeanor, could be a felony. Hopefully that is enough to get you to control your behavior between now and your next court date when you can meet with your lawyer about the overall case. All right, we're going to get this printed up, and I think Victim Services can print one themselves. Okay, so we're going to give, yours is good to go. You can go ahead and give her, if you step to your left, ma'am, it still takes many hours to get out. Try to be patient. And you do get a phone call on the way out, so certainly I would recommend that the alleged victim probably go do something else if you live close. It could be 4 to 6 hours before she actually gets out. All right, if you step to your left, you'll be all done today, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we have Mr. Cazares-Torres, Ibrahim Cazares-Torres. Please come to the podium. Then Russell Salazar, will you go to the chair? Right here, sir. Hi, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
27, 1980.
What's your name?
Abraham Cazares-Torres.
All right, thank you. So you got arrested for possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia possession, which is a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for both of those things, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you in this case. Your next court date is a status conference, March 5th at 8:30 in the morning, and that is this coming Wednesday, March 5th. Your preliminary hearing will be March 7th at 8:30. The information will be on your paperwork. Based on your criminal history, this court believes you are an extreme risk of non-appearance. So your bond is $5,000. It is cash only. If you post it, you have to be at all of your court hearings, or you will lose that bond and there will be a warrant issued for your arrest. It's also very likely that if you post it, you're going to go into ICE custody and be deported, and then you're not going to end up getting your $5,000 back anytime soon. So probably consult with your lawyer before you think about whether to post that bond, because if you do and you miss a court date, it's very likely you won't see that money again. Everything's on your paperwork. If you step to your left, they'll give you a copy. All right, Mr. Salazar? Then Frank Mendoza, will you please go to the chair? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Russell Salazar, February 1st, 1989.
All right, thanks. You're here on a new case. You were booked in on allegations of possession of narcotic drugs for sale, which is a Class 2 felony. I'm sorry, sale of narcotic drugs or transportation for sale, Class 2 felony. 2 allegations of simple possession of narcotic drugs. Those are Class 4s. So I am appointing a lawyer for you. There is probable cause for all of those. Your status conference is going to be March 5th, which is this Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning. Preliminary hearing March 7th at 8:30. Those are in the downtown Superior Court. And based on the relatively minimal amount that you are accused of possessing, I am not going to set the $75,000 cash bail that the state recommended. I know why they recommended it, and it is because of, the attempt to more aggressively prosecute fentanyl trafficking. The court finds that this is the type of trafficking that goes along with use, and that can, with some frequency, result in a probation sentence. So a lot of that turns on how you do while the case is pending, but you do have a felony prior, which means the state has a lot of leverage against you if all of this is correct. But I could see somebody in your scenario getting probation. That's why I'm setting a $5,000 cash bond, not a $75,000 cash bond. So talk to your lawyer about all of that. No weapons if you're out, or in. No drugs without a valid prescription. Don't go back to the scene of the crime. That's the Motel 6, but you can do a civil standby with an officer if you need to collect belongings. But if that's where the dope sales is happening, the court wants to keep you away from there while the case is pending. Everything's on your paperwork. If you step to your left, you get a copy of that. Mr. Mendoza? And then Lexus Espinosa, will you please go to the chair? Hello, sir. May I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Frank Anthony Mendoza, 10/29/94.
All right, thanks. You are here on a warrant for failing to appear at your sentencing in a case in which you were accused of possessing narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony. This warrant was issued February 13th of this year. You already have a lawyer in the case. You're going to have a status conference in front of the sentencing court. That will be March 6th, 1 week from today at 8:30 in the morning. The address is on your paperwork. Your bond is $2,000. It is secured. If you bond out, comply with all of your conditions. Do not miss your court dates, or you're going to lose that bond money, and the bond will just keep going up. You step to your left to get a copy of the paperwork. All right, Ms. Espinosa, Mr. Espinosa, apologies, and then Michael DeLucia. Will you please go to the chair? Where's Lexus Espinosa? And then Michael DeLucia, will you please go to the chair? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
7902, Lex Luth.
You're going to have to repeat that, sir. That was a mush. What?
7902, Lexus Espinosa.
All right, thank you. You're here on a warrant for failing to appear in a case in which you've been charged with dangerous drug possession, Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia possession, Class 6 felony. This warrant issued about 15 months ago, December 12th of 2023. You already have a lawyer. You're going to have a status conference in front of the trial court. That will be March 5th, this Wednesday, March 5th, 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Your bond is $2,000. It is secured. If you bond out, come to all of your hearings, or you lose that money, and then we start going up to things like $5,000 cash. You step to your left, you get a copy of your paper.
You mind me hard or no?
No, sir. No. I'm trying to encourage you that if you bond out, don't do this again, or you lose this money, and then we'll give you a higher bond next time. Michael DeLucia, we go to the chair. And then Francis Morris. Sorry, Mr. DeLucia to the podium, Francis Morris to the chair. Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Michael Joseph DeLucia, December 7th, 83.
All right, thank you. You are here on 3 things. 1 is a new case, and 2 are probation warrants. In the new case, you were arrested for dangerous drug possession and narcotic drug possession. Those are Class 4 felonies. Drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for both of those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you in this case and in both of your probation cases, because warrants were put out for your arrest in both of your probation cases shortly after you were placed on probation, which was, no, I think maybe I'm confusing this. No, that's not true. Right, that was within 72 hours. Whereabouts unknown since April of 2024. I don't know why the warrants didn't go out until October. I don't know. I don't care. But the warrants went out in October. Apparently, you've been in the wind since immediately after sentencing. So you'll have a lawyer in probation court as well. You'll get a copy of the revocation petitions that were filed. They allege you violated terms 3 and 5. All right, so your next court date is going to be slightly different for the 2 types of case. In the brand new case, you're going to have a status conference this Wednesday, March 5th at 8:30. Then the next day, March 6th, you go to probation court for a revocation agreement in your 2 probation cases. Then your preliminary hearing will be Friday, March 7th at 8:30. That's in the new case only. All of that will be on your paperwork. Eventually, the cases will come together in the system, and you should have the same lawyer for everything. All right, in each of your probation cases, your bond is $1,000 secured. And in the new case, it is $50 secured to make you eligible for credit for time in custody. That is $2,050 total. If you bond out and you do this again, you should expect to be held without bond in your probation cases. You don't actually have the right to bail in your probation cases. I gave you bail on the theory that you didn't run, lie, or fight with the cops when you were picked up on these warrants. It's a first one, and you don't have prior felonies. Actually, you do. You got 5. So, Mr. DeLucia, if you want there to be a whiff of hope that you get another chance at probation, if you bond out, you are to call your PO within 72 hours. Start being compliant, because at this point, if the county attorney can prove this case, they own you. They can send you to prison for 10 years. You're presumptive if you lose a trial with your criminal history just on one of those drugs is 10 years. I think you should have a strong motive to look like a good candidate for probation. If you don't, can't help you. But you're going to have to bond out first. The court does not trust you. Step to your left, take your paperwork. All right, Mr. Francis, and then Thomas Guthrie Robinson. Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Francis Morris, 9/21/63.
All right, thanks. You are here on 4 warrants. 1 is for failing to appear in a pending case, and as I recall, the other 3 are probation revocation warrants. So I'm going to start with the active and pending case. That is number 26 on the calendar. In this case, you've been charged with possession of dangerous and narcotic drugs. Those are class 4 felonies, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony. You are on probation in 3 other cases. That's numbers 27, 28, and 29. Hey, will you do me a favor? I think NEPR issued all of these. 1 second. We're just trying to not make you have 2 court hearings. Oh, no, I lied. Nope, I lied. Phillips did. Okay. I have to start you off in 2 different courts. I'm sorry. That's the way our system works. But like I'd like to tell people as well, honestly, I can't feel that bad about it. You appear to have landed yourself in this pot. I just can't fix it for you right now. Eventually, they will come together. So, in the pending case, the one you've not been convicted in, your first court date is March 5th. That's a status conference, 8:30 in the morning. The next day, you go to probation court, March 6th at 8:30, and then they're going to order them to join the other case. And then in the pending case only, you also need a preliminary hearing still. That's currently scheduled for Friday, March 7th at 8:30, but you can get that all moved around when you go on the 5th if you talk to your lawyer and get out in front of that. But I do have to set that for Friday the 7th. All right, and it's even possible if your lawyer's sharp and the judge knows what they're doing, on the 5th, they could maybe grab your probation cases for Thursday as well so that you don't have to go. All right. Everything's on your paperwork, though, and you have a $500 secured appearance bond in each case for $2,000 total. If you bond out, call your PO within 72 hours. Do not miss your court hearing. Just step to your left to get your paperwork. Now, Mr. Guthrie Robinson. And then Brandon Davis. Will you go to the chair? Hi, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Thomas Guthrie Robinson, 11/23/94.
Okay, thank you. You're on a new case. You got booked in for possession of narcotic drugs for sale as a class 2 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony, and there is probable cause for both of those. I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. And you're also here on a probation hold. Looks like you are on probation for a class 6 felony, and the probation department will be filing a petition to revoke your probation based on this new arrest. So there will be a petition to revoke filed between now and your next court date. You'll get a copy from your lawyer. I'm giving you more than one court date as well, unfortunately. So in the brand new case, the sales case, your status conference will be Wednesday, March 5th at 8:30. That's in the downtown Superior Court. And your preliminary hearing 2 days later, March 7th at 8:30. In between those is your probation court date, which is Thursday, March 6th at 8:30. That's a revocation arraignment hearing. All right, the addresses are on your paperwork. Now, in this case, your bond in your probation case is $500 secured. In the new case, you know what? That was supposed to be $5,000. I apologize. We need a reprint number 33. Sorry, didn't mean to get you too excited. Because the evidence appears strong on the sales count, but like an earlier person, it does appear that what they're alleging is sales to support a habit, sales of a small amount. And that is not the same as selling death for profit, which many people are doing. So in your case, I'm going to set bail in your probation case. Often we would hold people without bond. Yours may still be a Prop 200 case. Look, it is. I took that into account as well. As your underlying offense is Prop 200, and you don't have a lot of other criminal history. So your total bond is $5,050. You're getting a $50 placeholder bond in the new case. That's how we do it. Talk to your lawyer about that. And if you bond out, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. As I told the previous defendant, if they can prove this charge, they've got a good case against you in the sales case. And a class 2 with 1 prior, you have to ask your lawyer, but it's at least 11 years. So it's some serious time. That being said, in cases like yours, sometimes people come out with a probation deal. So that factors into the whole bond consideration. If this were, trafficking for fun and profit, that's when we start looking at $250,000 cash, that kind of thing. But that's not what they're accusing you of. So behave accordingly. If you bond out, try to look like a good candidate for probation. So if you'll step to your left, we're going to give you the reprinted paperwork. You guys, his paperwork needs to be reprinted.
I'm sorry?
I had a typo in his paperwork. It was reprinted, though. Thank you. All right, good luck. All right, Mr. Davis. And then Terrence Horn, will you go to the chair? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Brandon Ray Davis, 21079.
All right, thank you. You are here on two things. One is a warrant from Payson Justice Court, and the other one is a new case going out of Maricopa. So in the new case here, you've been accused of dangerous drug possession, a class 4 felony. There is probable cause for that, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. The next court date is a status conference this Wednesday, March 5th at 8:30, with the preliminary hearing Friday, March 7th at 8:30. The address in downtown Phoenix is on your paperwork. Then, out of Payson Justice Court, they issued a warrant for you for failing to appear in a driving on suspended license case. That is a class 1 misdemeanor. This warrant was issued January 21 of this year, and we're going to give you a court date in Payson Justice Court of March 4th. So this Tuesday, March 4th at 8:30 is your arraignment hearing in the Payson Justice Court. The address will be on your paperwork. I'm affirming their bond of $500 secured. And in the new Maricopa case, I'm setting a $50 bond. It's called a placeholder bond. It's to make sure you get credit for time in custody in case you cannot post their bond. I also show that you have a theft of means case that's been filed against you in Pinal County, a felony case, but we could not establish the current case status. So I'm just warning you about that. I'm not taking that into account in this case. I'm just letting you know there may have been an auto theft case filed against you in Pinal County. So you should check with your lawyer when you get to Payson. And I did appoint a lawyer in the Payson case in the event that you don't postpone. That gives you the right to a lawyer. You don't otherwise have a right to a free lawyer in a driving on suspended case, but if you're stuck in jail on bond, you do get a lawyer to help you with the bond issue. Everything's on your paperwork. If you step to your left.
So I got a $50 bond on the one and
$550 total. Mr. Horn, Terrence Horn, and then Monica Alvarez. Will you go to the chair, please? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Yes, Terrence Clay Horn, August 31st, 1984.
Okay, thanks. You're here on a warrant in a pending case. It looks like there was a charges filed against you for narcotic drug possession, class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia possession, class 6 felony. And on November 5th of this year, there was a status conference. You were not there, and a warrant was issued.
Yeah,
you already have a lawyer. Your status conference is going to be rescheduled for this Wednesday, March 5th at 8:30. Preliminary hearing, March 7th at 8:30. The address will be on your paperwork. Your bond is $500. It is secured. If you bond out, comply with all of your written conditions. Don't miss that court date. And let your lawyer know, I show an open case, a second open case that's been filed against you here in Maricopa County. Apparently, there's been no warrant issued yet. So you just need to let your lawyer know so they can get you get that case started before that turns into a warrant.
Your Honor, is there a possibility I can possibly get, or I'm on fixed income, so I don't.
On your record, no, sir. And you come up pretrial max, meaning too many FTAs, too many priors.
It's been years since it's been 2017.
Yeah, you got 4 felonies and failures to appear. So you have misdemeanor convictions and misdemeanor failures to appear. So we do a risk assessment scoring on your paperwork. Yours comes up not a good bet. So I'm just affirming the bond that they set. It is $500. It is secured. If you step to your left, they'll give you paper.
$500. I'll have to pay $500 cash or pay.
It's not cash. You can use a bail bondsman if you can find one that will do a bond for you at $500.
Okay.
If you step to your left, they'll give you paperwork. Thank you. Monica Alvarez, and then Travis Sisler. Will you please go to Keisler? I'm not sure. Will you go to the chair? Travis? Hi, ma'am. May I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Monica Marie Alvarez, 9/13/73.
Okay, thanks. You're got a new case. You were arrested for hindering prosecution in the first degree. It's a class 5 felony, and there is probable cause for it. I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date is a status conference, March 13th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. That is 2 weeks from now, March 13th. Preliminary hearing, March 17th at 8:30 in the morning. Now, I'm going to release you in this case, as we often do in hindering cases. I am well aware of your criminal history, as I imagine you are too. You got 4 priors. That means the state can and will put you in prison if they can convict you of this, absent some plea agreement or something. If they have the evidence, they say. And I'm telling you this because in cases like yours, it's often possible that this sort of collusion and tampering that appears to have been going on continues to go on after we release people. So I want to caution you that I'm ordering you not to have any contact with Angelo Miske.
Okay.
I don't know if he's your son or relative or some other person. Even if he is your adult son, you do not have a legal right to contact your adult son. People have some liberty interest in contacting their minor children. He's not a minor. He's on this calendar. And I'm going to ask, was he made a house call because of the co-defendant situation or because of his own?
Yes, ma'am.
Then we'll want to switch him out, please. His case is way too serious to do as a house call because of this, so we'll just switch him out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Will you
All right.
like me to wait?
Yeah, we can get her out and then bring him in. And he's about to get a pretty significant bond. If he pays it, and I will tell you, the state's recommendation, I haven't decided what I'm doing. The state recommended $500,000 cash, and that is because all of the evidence against him appears to indicate strongly that he's going to prison for a very long time if they convict him. If they have the evidence they say, and he has 6 prior felonies. He has a strong motive, he does, to engage in victim or witness intimidation or retaliation and to use third parties to do it. And I will tell you, ma'am, right now, we take that with the utmost seriousness.
Okay.
You are not to have contact with the alleged victim in his case.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And if you would like to stay out of prison, you respect these orders.
I will.
No weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. Because in cases like this, you are not accused of a violent offense. You are accused with good evidence of helping him try to dodge the police. And that is very much a felony, and you very much have multiple priors. So I'm releasing you. The point of the lecture is if you would like to grow a light bulb about your situation, don't try to rescue him if you even were. I don't know if he's your son. I suspect he's your son.
Okay.
That being said,
okay,
there's nothing you can do that's going to save him.
right,
He has his own pile of evidence.
okay,
If you do anything else that could be witness tampering against his victim, that will get you held no bond because that's a new felony committed while you're out on release for a felony. Will get you held no bond, and you will ultra motivate the state to go to the wall on your case. And it's only a class 5, but with 2 priors, you're looking at years in prison just for what they're alleging right now, much less what you might be alleged for doing later. But his case smells top to bottom like risk of victim intimidation and retaliation.
okay.
It smells very badly of that. So I am taking a deep breath and releasing you because what they're accusing you of doing, and by the way, pretty good evidence of it, of helping him dodge the cops, which is terrible judgment. It's a terrible plan. It does not usually work out well. And now you are in a bad trick bag because you got 4 priors. So I hope you can do the math. You stay away from her.
I will.
And if he calls you from jail, you decline.
Okay.
You are not permitted to respond to contact from him. And frankly, ma'am, if you don't listen to me, okay, fine. I gave you the warning. I did what I could.
Yes.
You came in on a nonviolent offense. You're probably safe to return to the community. I don't know. Frankly, the more I talk about it, the more I worry.
No, I'm straight.
Don't contact with her. Have contact with her. I mean,
I won't.
Okay.
I don't know anything about her.
I will bring the hammer down with no lecture on your bond. If you come in on witness, well, you won't even get bond. If you come in on witness tampering, you'll be held no bond.
I got it, ma'am.
All right. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
You stepped to your left, get your paperwork. Mr. Sisler or Keisler, Travis, and then Crystal Ombres. Will you go to the chair? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Travis Chrysler,
Okay. What is your date of birth, please?
October 14th, 1991.
All right, thank you. You're here on a new case. You got arrested for possessing dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for those things, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your next court date is a status conference, March 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That's 2 weeks from now. Preliminary hearing, March 17th at 8:30. The address will be on your paperwork. I'm going to follow the recommendation to release you to pretrial services. You've got priors, but this is drug possession, and the police say that you're cooperative with their investigation. You didn't run, fight, whatever. So I'm going to release you and let you know, go talk to your lawyer, but people in your situation are often getting probation offers if it's just drug possession and you're not presenting other indicators that you're not worth a chance at drug rehab. You do you. I'm just warning you. You got 4 priors. If you miss a court date, you're going to get a bump. Like there's a guy who did, this is just drug possession, and he said, I'm on fixed income, et cetera. I'm like, yeah, but you missed a court date. You already got released. This is your chance. There won't be another one. If you miss this court date, you just get a bond next time.
All right.
Come to court, talk to your lawyer, see what they can do for you.
All right.
All right. Good luck.
Thanks.
There's Ambrose. Then Giovanni Rico, we go to the chair. Hello, ma'am. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Crystal Ambrose, February 20th, 1985.
Okay, thanks. You're here on the following allegations. Possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. Using a device or artifice to facilitate retail theft, that's a Class 4 felony. Drug paraphernalia possession, Class 6 felony. 2 allegations of shoplifting, just the same offense committed 2 different ways. Each of those ways is a Class 1 misdemeanor. I am appointing a lawyer for you. You can go over with your lawyer what the final charges might end up being. Alrighty, your next court date is March 13th, 2 weeks from today. It's a status conference in the downtown Superior Court, 8:30 in the morning. Preliminary hearing, March 17th at 8:30, same court. And in this case, I am going to release you to pretrial services supervision. You do not have felony priors. It looks like you got a bunch of federal priors. As to whether they're eligible or not, I don't know. On this kind of offense, I don't care. I'll let you prove one way or the other. Will you come to court? Will you not? If you prove that you won't, you know what happens. Don't go to any Target store.
Okay.
And no contact with any of the employees at that one.
Okay.
No weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. You're going to get an envelope with instructions about how to call pretrial after you get out.
Yeah.
Just don't lose the envelope. Follow those instructions. Come to your court date, okay? So we step to left, date paper. Mr. Rico? And then Brianna Stevens, we go to the chair. Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Giovanni Julian Rico, January 31st, 1992.
Okay, thanks. You are here on an arrest warrant. Let me double check yours. It says arrest.
Yeah.
I think it's...
This
it
happened
is.
a
Okay.
while ago.
It's an older case. Pardon me. So what happened in your case is the state finally filed charges in your case. They were probably waiting for blood results or drug results or something. The charges got filed. We didn't have a working address for you. We don't hold that against you.
Okay.
So the charges are possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. Possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. 2 allegations of DUI as Class 1 misdemeanors, and that's the same statute alleged to have been violated 2 different ways. It's not 2 offenses. It's 2 different ways of violating the statute. So talk to your lawyer about that. You get a full copy of the charges from your lawyer and copies of the police reports. The offense date in your case is May 26th of 2024. It looks like it comes out of the Department of Public Safety.
Yeah.
So I'm appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date is going to be a status conference March 13th. That's 2 weeks, 8:30 in the morning. Preliminary hearing March 17th at 8:30 in the same court. That address is on your paperwork.
Okay.
I'm going to follow the recommendation to release you to pretrial services, just like the last defendant. You get an envelope. Just comply with what's in there. And it looks like in this one, there was an attempt made to send you a summons in September. So even the state never asked for a warrant until we couldn't find you. So just don't miss court dates. Don't violate your release conditions. Everything you need to know is on your paperwork. You should be released later today. All right. Thank you. Mrs. Stevens, Brianna Stevens. And then Victor Retta Hernandez, will you please go to the chair? Hi, ma'am. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Brianna Stevens, March 1990.
Okay, thanks. You're here on a new case. You got booked in for computer tampering for purposes of fraud or computer access for purposes of fraud. That's a Class 3 felony. And theft as a Class 5 felony. There is probable cause for those, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your next court date will be a status conference in 2 weeks, which is March 13th at 8:30 in the morning, with a preliminary hearing March 17th at 8:30. That'll be in the downtown Superior Court, and the address is on your paperwork. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. You don't have any criminal history, and these are property offenses. So you do have written release conditions you're ordered to comply with, though. But you have a little bit of criminal history. It looks like DUI. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't have any reason to think you won't come to court and comply with release conditions. So I put an order in here saying you can have contact with store management if necessary to obtain payroll, tax, benefit, or other employment information. But unless they expressly let you, that contact has to be email or U.S. mail only. Like if you call them and they say, we don't want to talk to you, you can't call them.
They're going to mail my last check. Yeah.
Okay. So you have to have contact with them. Don't even worry about that. But if something gets strange, with your employment stuff, you can contact them. But if they say, I did put, don't go to the scene of the alleged crime, but if they let you come, that's okay. If they say you can come physically, pick it up, that's between you and them. But if they say, stop calling here, then you'll just have to go by email or U.S. mail, okay? I just always do that in these employment cases. No contact with any witnesses there. Everything you need to know is on your paperwork, and so just take that. Don't miss your court dates, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Retta Hernandez? And then Christina Davis, we go to the chair. Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Hello, good morning. My name is Victor Retta Hernandez, 02/11/2000 is my date of birth.
Okay, thanks. You're hearing a from East Mesa Justice Court, where you have been charged with driving on a suspended license. It's a Class 1 misdemeanor. It looks like you got this ticket on March 6th of 2020, which is a date that stands out in most of our minds. You missed a court date on April 1. And looking back at it, it looks like basically things just went to heck and they probably didn't have a valid address for you. So I haven't done one of these in a long time, but I'm going to give you a pandemic do-over. That lots of people in this window lost track of their stuff, didn't really feel motivated to chase it down. I'm not blaming you. I'm saying now you have to go. Now you just got a court date from a judge. That'll all be in here. You can't go, oh, gee, I didn't know what to do. Now you know. So just go pick it up with them, kind of where you left off 4 years ago. Your court date is going to be March 19th of 2025, so a full 5 years later. Go. It did not magically disappear. And now, hopefully, this whole experience is enough to make you show up and go, I don't want this ugly surprise ever again. So just show up. March 19th, 9 in the morning. The address in Mesa is on your paperwork. Okay. So it takes a few hours to get released. That's part of the fun of learning to make your court dates. But again, March 6th of 2020 was literally right when the world exploded. So more so than most people. Some people are like, in September, they're like, well, it was COVID. I'm like, okay, depends on what you did. But like literally COVID happened a week later. And so on a traffic ticket, please go. Yeah. Because honestly, we'll see you again 5 years later if you don't. Yeah. It does not magically disappear. All right, good luck, sir. If you step to your left, you get paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Davis, Christina Davis. And Joshua Townsend, we go to the chair. Hi, ma'am. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Christina Marie Davis, June 6, 1979.
Okay, thanks. You're here on a new case. You got arrested for possessing dangerous drugs and possession or use of a weapon during a drug offense. Those are both Class 4 felonies. Finally, drug paraphernalia possession is a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for all of those, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your next court date is a status conference March 13th. That's 2 weeks, 8:30 in the morning. Preliminary hearing March 17th at 8:30. Those will be in the downtown Phoenix court. The address is on your paperwork. And I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. I understand the circumstances of your arrest, so I'm ordering you not to go back to that location. If you have belongings there, you can do a civil standby to collect them. No weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. Looks like you live out of county. That's fine. You still can't miss your court date. So it is not a valid excuse to say, it was hard for me to get a court. I live out of county. We're still going to give you a warrant. We're still going to give you a bond. So just, and on the gun, normally I'd give you a bond if you had any kind of priors. Gun plus drugs, always bad. You don't really have, you don't have any priors. So you're getting the benefit of that. Just don't squander it by missing court dates or picking up new charges, okay? You step to your left to get your paperwork, okay? All right, thank you. And Mr. Townsend? And then Mr. Misquez, you can go to the chair. you know what, I'm gonna have to reprint this too. Just 1 second, because I just remembered something. 1 second, okay? Okay. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Joshua Townsend, January 17th of 96.
Okay, thanks. As I believe you know, you're here on 3 warrants. The first one is from the White Tank Justice Court, where you've been charged with drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of failing to appear in a misdemeanor case, which is a Class 2 misdemeanor. And your next court date in White Tank Justice Court will be March 18th at 9:30 in the morning. That's about 3 weeks from now, and the address for that is on your paperwork. You're also here on 2 Superior Court warrants. One is a newly filed case, but it goes back about a year, and it is possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. The offense date for those is March 10th of last year, comes out of the Glendale Police Department, and you'll get a copy of those charges from your lawyer and police reports. I am appointing a lawyer for you in this felony case and also in your probation case. There was a probation warrant out for you from July of last year, July 11th. Because there was a petition to revoke your probation filed, and it alleges term 1, which is this March 10th case, also absconding, running off. That's terms 3 and 5. So you'll get a copy of that petition from your lawyer. Again, you will have a lawyer for these felony cases. Right now, I have to give you different court dates for the felony cases. In the brand new case, well, your first court date is actually in probation court. It's going to be this coming Thursday, 1 week from today, March 6th at 8:30. That's a revocation arraignment hearing, and the address is on your paperwork. Then, a week after that are the court dates for the brand new, the case from March 10th. It's a status conference March 13th at 8:30 in the morning, preliminary hearing March 17th at 8:30. And your paperwork makes clear that you self-surrendered, and on these cases, in general, it appears that you are relatively low risk, other than you went into the wind for a year on your probation. So what I'm going to do is release you on your own recognizance on all 3 to be supervised by your assigned PO. You don't have any violent priors. This is pretty much the sum total of your criminal history, and it looks like you chose to come in and face it. So I have a reason to think you will continue to do that. There's nothing lurking in these cases that should cause any intelligent person to miss court hearings. So talk to your lawyer. If you do miss another court hearing, you're going to absolutely end up with a bond next time. But you did the smart thing. You self-surrendered. These are non-violent cases, and I think you can be safely managed by your PO. Also, how things turn out is going to turn heavily on how you do on probation while the case is pending. So call your PO within 72 hours of release. Start being really compliant. That is your very best thing you could possibly do. It also makes the community safer. So I hope you have a strong motive to keep doing that. Okay. If you don't, we're going to see you back here. All right. This time you're out to get your paperwork. All right. Thank you. And Mr. Miscaz? Oh, sir, 1 second, okay?
Say one more time, sorry.
Just 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, I need your full name and your date of birth, please.
Angelo Misquez, 04/11/1997.
All right, thank you. Mr. Misquez, you are here on a new case. You were arrested for aggravated assault as a Class 3 felony. There is probable cause for that, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your next court date will be a status conference March 5th, which is this Wednesday, 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court, with a preliminary hearing March 7th at 8:30 in the same court. Based on what's been alleged against you and your extensive criminal history, I understand why the state recommended a $500,000 cash bail for you. It is because, as I told your co-defendant, Ms. Alvarez, earlier, there's a very strong indicator in this case of potential victim intimidation or retaliation. And the court is extremely concerned about that. There also appears to be a decent weight of the evidence against you.
Excuse me, a decent what? I'm sorry.
A weight of the evidence, meaning if the state has the evidence they say they have, you have what I like to call a bad problem. It doesn't mean that you're not innocent until proven guilty. That is our legal system. But it means you have a weight of evidence to overcome, which can make people more likely to flee prosecution and not show up. Even if they are innocent, they want to prove their innocence. If they believe that they're likely to be convicted, that causes people to not show up. And when you have as many priors as you have, which is 6 of them, even on this one charge, which this is what I would call underbooked. I would assume any prosecutor charging this would add a kidnapping charge and multiple other charges. But this is what the police booked you in on. This is what I deal with today. The final charges are up to the county attorney's office. But with your extensive priors, the weight of evidence against you, the court does believe you pose a very real and very substantial risk to this alleged victim. So, but placing your case within a continuum of other cases, bond is set in the amount of $100,000. It is cash only, dollar for dollar. If you post that, you will be on an electronic ankle monitor, and you will have a curfew. I'll let pretrial set that. You will have a curfew. Absolutely no contact with the alleged victim. Not direct, not indirect, not from in jail, not from out of jail. 1 second. Hold on, please. Okay. All right, I've made that very clear. Absolutely no contact. Okay. That can be a new felony as well. I put the statute in your paperwork. You can read it. No weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. I ordered Monica Alvarez to have absolutely no contact with you. I don't know if she's your mother, some other relative, or whatever, but she faces a significant prison term just for what she's accused of, and I released her. You may not have contact with her. She knows, she's very clear. If she chooses to do it, both of you could face additional charges for that. Absolutely no contact with Christopher Misquez. I do not have his case. I know that is your father. He may have been seen on an earlier calendar. I don't know. And I don't care. You are not to contact him. You are not to respond to contact from him, because this court finds you are too likely on these facts to engage in possible victim intimidation or retaliation. And the court takes that with the utmost seriousness.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely no contact with her. No weapons if you're out of custody or in custody. No drugs without a prescription. No alcohol. If you get served with an order of protection, you comply with that as well. Everything I just told you is on your paperwork. And with your criminal history on this charge alone, you face an extremely long, I think it's 11.75, might be 11.25 years, class 3 with 2 priors. But there is probable cause for kidnapping in here as well. That's a class 2, and that is a 15-plus year presumptive sentence. I hope that is enough to get you to comply with release conditions. If it's not, you're going to take a bad situation and make it life changing.
Of course, I understand.
All right, step to your left.
I had a question as well about... I just spaced it. You were just speaking about it. So you're setting the bond at $100,000 cash. Okay, and then you said something else. Hold on, I'm sorry.
You go on an ankle monitor if you're out.
Yes, but it was something else, and I had just been up all night, stressing, so I just spaced it.
If you think of it before you go, you can tell them.
I think it was something about the weight. Oh, no, I'm sorry. So you're saying that there's another additional charges coming?
No, what I'm saying is I predict that. I'm basing my bond on what you're currently booked on, which is generally what I should be doing. But many police agencies, in fact, there's another person on the calendar who's not in here right now, who is accused of not identical, but this type of behavior. There is a kidnapping charge to be had. There's absolutely the elements of kidnapping were laid out in that narrative. Sometimes the police are just very quick when they book. They're like, well, this is like the best thing, and the county attorney will figure it out. That's what we would call underbooked. Sometimes people are overbooked. That really what they did was kind of simple, and the police brought 8 charges. Okay. I'm just trying to tell you that factors into the court's calculus of what are you likely to do to try to shut this person up or to get her not to come to trial or whatever it is. Okay. And the answer is what is alleged is red flag city. Domestic violence cases are the top ones for violation of release conditions in ways that make other people dead. Okay. And so we take that with extreme seriousness. Don't go anywhere near any behavior that might get you accused of that. Okay. You'll end up on new charges of witness tampering and held without bond. Okay. So talk to your lawyer about all of this. You'll get police reports from your lawyer. By the time you see your lawyer, the county attorney will have made its charging decision. The police book you on this. I don't decide what you're charged with. The county attorney is the one who decides what charges are brought, and you and your lawyer can go over it once that document is in your possession, okay, which should be by before your next court date.
And my next court date was Wednesday?
Wednesday the 5th, indeed. Okay. All right, if you step to your left, you get your paperwork. Thank you. All right, so then officers, I've got Mr. Marco Sanchez, Zachary Rind or Rind, Pamela Gross-Mininol, and DeAndre Robinson as house calls. Are they all physically not present in court because they've been isolated as a potential risk to themselves or others?
Mr. DeAndre Robinson has been brought to court, ma'am.
He's here?
Yes.
Great, okay. All right, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
DeAndre Keyshawn Robinson, 22390.
All right, thank you. All right, sir, you were arrested on the following allegations. Kidnapping, a Class 2 felony. Sexual assault, a Class 2 felony. Are we clear? Hey, officer, are we clear?
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you. Just realized. Okay, sexual assault, a Class 2 felony. A second allegation of kidnapping. That's alleged 2 different ways. Probable cause for both. That's a Class 2. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument. That's a Class 3. Aggravated assault by the impeding of breathing or strangulation in an intimate relationship. That's a Class 4 felony. 2 allegations of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, both Class 4 felony. 1 allegation of failing to register as a sex offender, which is a Class 4 felony. 1 allegation of being a sex offender failing to provide proper confirmation of ID and or residence. That's a Class 6 felony. Possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. Drug paraphernalia possession, Class 6 felony. 2 allegations of assault as Class 1 misdemeanors and 1 allegation of theft as a Class 1 misdemeanor. And there is probable cause for all of those crimes, so I am appointing a lawyer to represent you and setting your next 2 court dates. The first one is the status conference this Wednesday, March 5th, 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court, with a preliminary hearing March 7th at 8:30 in the same court. Those are both next week. And in your case, the state recommended a $2 million cash bond. I understand why they did that. But at this point, you are not actually accused of killing anyone, and that is a bond level that is generally reserved for major drug traffickers and people accused of first-degree murder. So, that being said, everything in your case and your criminal history very, very strongly suggests that you are at high risk of killing this person while you are out of custody. The court believes that there is a reasonable weight of evidence against you to support these allegations, corroborating what the alleged victim is claiming. And so in this case, the court sets bail in the amount of $500,000. It is cash only. If you post that, you will be on an ankle monitor under house arrest because what is alleged against you is of such extreme seriousness that the court believes you cannot safely be allowed to run around in the community, even if you bond out. Absolutely no contact with the alleged victim, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. Everything you need to know is on your paperwork. You'll be back in court next week. If you step to your left, I'll give you a copy of your paperwork.
You don't feel like I was overbooked in any of it?
I don't. No, in fact, no, I really don't. And I thought maybe you might think that when I was talking to the other gentleman. No. On these charges, Mr. Robinson, they have listed lengthy detail about what you are accused of doing. You are presumed innocent. That being said, they've provided detail for every one of those things. So no, I don't believe you've been overbooked. I do not. and that what you are accused of doing is also considered, in light of your criminal history, is of extreme seriousness. I believe that the risk that you pose in the community, to the community, and to this alleged victim is very, very high. And I like I said, the state thought I should give you a $2 million cash bond. So on these facts, the court is not going any lower than $500,000 cash. So Mr. Robinson, you do have a lawyer. You can talk to your lawyer about this overall situation. But in this case, that is the court's decision today.
This is basically like a life sentence, right? Like,
talk to your lawyer about predicting what outcomes may be, but you do face a lengthy prison term if convicted as currently booked. It's up to the county attorney to decide what charges they bring. They're going to decide between now and your next court date. You can go over it with your lawyer. All right, so everything you need to know is on your paperwork. All right, Mr. Sanchez, so I didn't get an answer to my question. So Mr. Sanchez, Mr. Rind, and Ms. Gross-Mininol, are they not here in court because they were isolated as potential risks to themselves or others? Yes. Okay, all right. Then I will go conduct their initial appearances in person, in-house. Immediately following this recording, I'll advise Marcos Sanchez, born 6/17/98. He's here on a new case. He got booked in for assault, alleged 2 different ways, a class 1 misdemeanor, class 3 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for those, and I'm appointing a lawyer for him. His arraignment hearing will be March 4th at 8:30. That's this Tuesday in the White Tank Justice Court. And I'm inclined to set bail in the amount of $500 secured in this case. The court is concerned about the allegations in this case and the defendant's ability or willingness to conform his behavior and respect these orders. And this is the court's inclination to order $500 secured appearance bond. I am appointing a lawyer for him because this is a domestic violence case. I'm going to give him orders not to go back to the scene of the alleged crimes, except one time on a civil standby, no victim contact, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. He has to obey any order of protection that may be issued, and he has to find an alternative residence and bring proof to his next court date. All right, Zachary Rind. And don't close this one out, this Rind, because this one's kind of on the bubble. Okay. Well, I mean, they always technically are. So, all right, Zachary Rind, born 6/8/92, is here on a new case. He got booked in for 3rd-degree burglary, a class 4 felony, theft a class 6 felony, and theft as a class 1 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for this, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent him. His next court date, provided I do release him to pretrial services, will be a status conference March 13th at 8:30, preliminary hearing March 17th at 8:30. I'm going to give him orders not to go back to that campus or any part of it, no contact with any alleged victims or witnesses there, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. And actually, because he might be a student there, I do want to talk to him. I did write, he can't go into any part of that GCC campus at 59th and Olive without the express permission of GCC authorities. So I was trying to account for the idea that he may be a student there. I don't know. All right. Then Pamela Gross-Mininol, born 1/8/92, is here on a new case. She got arrested for shoplifting with a device to facilitate it. That's a class 4 felony. There's probable cause for it, and I'm going to appoint a lawyer for her. And I'm going to plan on giving her a status conference of March 5th at 8:30, preliminary hearing March 7th at 8:30. Those are in the downtown Superior Court. Given the allegations of flight to avoid arrest and an outstanding FTA warrant from a city court, the court is concerned that she won't voluntarily appear. So I'm currently inclined to set bail in the amount of $500 secured with written conditions and orders not to go to any Walmart store. I'm going to go talk to her, though. And if anything changes after I conduct these appearances with Ms. Gross-Mininol, Mr. Rind, or Mr. Sanchez, I'm going to change my final written order. It's not the court's intent to update this recording. My final order in each case will reflect the court's ultimate decision. All right, with that, we're going to stand in recess until 2 p.m. this afternoon.
Thank you. Please be seated. Is the interpreter able to hear me all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then we'll get started. Good afternoon. This is the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar for February 27th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA that were issued on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar.
Buenas tardes. Este es el calendario de comparecencia inicial de las 2 de la tarde para el día de hoy, 27 de febrero del 2025. Las órdenes judiciales de la toma de huellas dactilares y muestras de ADN que se emitieron en el primer calendario de este mes van a aplicarse a todas estas audiencias.
My name is Commissioner Lacey Fisher. In a moment, I'm going to call each one of you up to the podium one at a time and let you know why you're here and whether or not you'll be released.
Mi nombre es la comisionada Lacey Fisher. En un momentito les voy a llamar que pasen uno a la vez al podio. Les voy a informar la razón por la cual se encuentran aquí y si serán puestos en libertad.
Please keep in mind a couple of things. First, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say during this proceeding could be used against you in your case.
Por favor, tengan en mente un par de cosas. Uno, tienen el derecho a guardar silencio. Cualquier cosa que ustedes digan durante este proceso puede ser utilizada en su contra, en su caso.
Second, you have the right to counsel. Most of you have qualified for a court-appointed lawyer. I'm sure you have a lot of questions about your case. The person you need to speak with is your attorney. I can't give you legal advice.
Lo segundo es que tienen el derecho a ser representados por un abogado. La mayoría de ustedes reúnen los requisitos para recibir un abogado nombrado por el tribunal. Estoy segura que ustedes tienen muchas preguntas sobre su caso. La persona con la cual tienen que hablar sobre eso es su abogado. Yo no puedo darles asesoría legal.
Finally, I'm going to be giving you a lot of important information during your hearing, including telling you your next court date. Everything that I tell you during your hearing will be in the written paperwork the officers give you at the end of your hearing.
Finalmente, les estaré dando mucha información muy importante durante su audiencia, incluyendo la fecha de su próxima audiencia judicial. Todo lo que les estaré diciendo durante esta audiencia va a aparecer en el papeleo por escrito que le van a entregar los agentes al final de su audiencia.
We'll start with Luis Hernandez Camacho, please.
Iniciamos con Luis Hernández Camacho, por favor.
And then Daniel Lopez Gonzalez to the chair by the door, please.
Y luego Daniel López González a la silla que está al lado de la puerta, por favor.
Right here, sir. No, right there.
En el podio, sir.
Okay.
All right, sir. Is your name Luis Hernandez Camacho?
Bien, señor, su nombre es Luis Hernández Camacho.
Sí.
Yes.
And is your date of birth September 24th, 1997?
Su fecha de nacimiento es el 24 de septiembre de 1997.
Sí.
Yes.
I have you here on a new case. You were arrested on one allegation of possession of narcotic drugs for sale, a Class 2 felony.
Le tengo aquí debido a un caso nuevo. Usted fue detenido debido a una pretensión de tenencia y uso de droga narcótica.
One allegation of possession of a weapon during a drug offense, a Class 4 felony.
Disculpa, la imputación anterior es un delito de clase 2. También un punto acusatorio de tenencia de un arma por una persona inhabilitada, que es un delito de clase 4.
And one allegation of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony.
Y un punto acusatorio de tenencia de un arma al estar cometiendo un ilícito de drogas, también un delito de clase 4.
I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing you an attorney.
He determinado que existe motivo fundado de procesamiento para poder sustentar estas pretensiones y le voy a nombrar a un abogado que le represente.
You will have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court.
Va a tener usted audiencia judicial el día 5 de marzo y también el 7 de marzo, ambos a las 8:30 de la mañana en el Tribunal Superior en Downtown.
You have a $200,000 cash-only bond.
Usted tiene una fianza de caución real de $200,000 en efectivo solamente.
I'm also ordering that should you post that bond and be released, that an electronic ankle monitoring device be installed prior to your release from custody.
También voy a ordenar que si usted llega a depositar esa fianza, se le coloque una tobillera de monitoreo electrónico antes de ser puesto en libertad.
I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork.
Voy a ordenar también que usted cumpla con todas las órdenes que van a aparecer escritas en su papeleo.
It's going to include that you're not to have contact with any alleged co-defendant, you're not to possess any weapons, and you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription.
Voy a incluir aquí que usted no puede estar en contacto con ninguno de sus coacusados o presuntos coacusados, ni tampoco puede estar en tenencia de ningún arma o en tenencia de ninguna droga sin una receta vigente.
Do you understand everything I've told you, sir?
¿Ha entendido todo lo que le he dicho, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
¿Alguna pregunta que tenga?
No.
No.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step to your left.
Gracias, señor. Puede pasar hacia su izquierda.
Daniel Lopez Gonzalez, please.
Daniel López González, por favor.
Good afternoon, sir. Is your name Daniel Lopez Gonzalez?
Buenas tardes, señor. ¿Su nombre es Daniel López González?
Sí.
Yes.
And is your date of birth July 21st, 2000?
¿Su fecha de nacimiento es el 21 de julio del 2000?
Sí.
Yes.
I have you here on a new case. You were arrested on one allegation of possession of narcotic drugs for sale, a Class 2 felony.
Le tengo aquí debido a un caso nuevo. Usted fue detenido debido a una pretensión de tenencia de droga narcótica con propósito de venta, un delito de clase 2.
One allegation of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony.
Una pretensión de tenencia de un arma por una persona inhabilitada, un delito de clase 4.
One allegation of possession of a weapon in a drug offense, a Class 4 felony.
Y una pretensión de tenencia y uso de un arma durante cometer un ilícito de drogas, es un delito de clase 4.
I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
He determinado que existe motivo fundado de procesamiento para sustentar estas pretensiones y voy a nombrar a un abogado para que le represente.
You will have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court.
Va a tener usted audiencia judicial el día 5 de marzo y el 7 de marzo a las 8:30 de la mañana en el Tribunal Superior en Downtown.
You have a $200,000 cash-only bond.
Hay una caución real de $200,000 de efectivo solamente.
I'm also ordering that should you post that bond and be released, that an electronic ankle monitoring device be installed prior to your release from custody.
Si usted llega a depositar esa fianza, voy a ordenar también que se le coloque una tobillera de monitoreo electrónico antes de usted ser puesto en libertad.
I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork.
Voy a ordenar también que usted cumpla con todas las órdenes escritas en su papeleo.
Do you understand everything I've told you, sir?
¿Ha entendido todo lo que le he dicho, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
¿Alguna pregunta que tenga usted?
Is that a no, sir?
No.
No.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step to your left.
Gracias, señor. Puede pasar a su izquierda.
We'll have Carla Zamora next. And then, Mr. Interpreter, before you go, could you inquire with the gallery to see if anyone else needs your assistance?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. ¿Se encuentra alguien más en la sala que requiere asistencia de un intérprete de la lengua español? Si usted requiere un intérprete, por favor, levante la mano.
All right, it doesn't look like there's anyone else. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
My pleasure, Your Honor. You too.
All right, good afternoon, ma'am. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Carla Zamora, October 13, 1996.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You were arrested on one allegation of possession of dangerous drugs for sale, a Class 2 felony, one allegation of possession or transportation of dangerous drugs for sale, a Class 2 felony, one allegation of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, one allegation of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, one allegation of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, and one allegation of obstruction, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
Can I say something?
Hold on just 1 second, and then you can. Before I finalize my orders, I'll let you speak. I just want to make sure I tell you everything I have to tell you.
Okay.
You're going to have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Because it's alleged that these offenses occurred while you were on pretrial felony release in CR 2024-145146, by law you must remain in custody without bail. I am setting a bail eligibility hearing for you on March 6th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You're also here in the matter ending in 146 for failing to appear at your court date. In that case, you'll have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court, and you have a $250 cash-only bond. Even though you have a bond in that case, because you're currently being held without bail in your new matter, if you paid that bond today, you wouldn't get released from custody. The only thing that would happen is you wouldn't get credit for the days you are serving in custody on that matter. Do you understand everything I've told you?
Yes.
Okay, now what did you want to say?
So the narcotics and all that drugs for sale stuff that they said it was only because they found baggies, and it was because I'm a user. Yes. But I've never had anything for sale, and they were trying to accuse me for like having other stuff for my hair, like because of the peroxide and all that stuff. And I didn't understand what they were doing. That the officer violated my rights. He was going through my car without my permission, and I wasn't even like doing anything. I had court yesterday morning for my children, and I was gonna go to treatment. I was in my car packing up my bags because I was going to treatment.
Okay, thank you for telling me that. If you think the officer did something wrong, talk to your lawyer, okay? All right, thank you, ma'am. Go ahead and step to your left. Make sure you get your paperwork. Carlos Ontiveros Gill, and then Thomas Griffin, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Carlos Ontiveros, 11/17/2001.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on one allegation of possession of narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony. I have found probable cause to support that allegation, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You'll have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Because it's alleged that this offense occurred while you were on pretrial felony release in CR 2025-105833, by law you must remain in custody without bail. I am setting a bail eligibility hearing for you on March 6th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You're also here on a warrant out of the Goodyear Municipal Court for failing to pay fines or fees in your case there. In that case, I'm appointing you a lawyer, and you'll have court on March 5th at 8:30 in the morning in the Goodyear Municipal Court. In that matter, you have a $50 secured appearance bond, and I'm ordering that you comply with the written orders in your paperwork. Even though you have that $50 bond in that case, because you're currently being held without bail in your new matter, if you post that $50 bond right now, you won't get released from custody. The only thing that will happen is you won't get credit for the time you are serving in custody on that matter. Do you understand everything I've told you, sir?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Nope.
All right. Thanks, sir. You can step to your left. Thomas Griffin, please, and then Aldo Sanchez Fuentes to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Thomas Griffin, 11/8/1986.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on one allegation of possession of dangerous drugs, a class 4 felony, and one allegation of possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You'll have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Because it's alleged these offenses occurred while you were on pretrial felony release in CR 2024-001183, by law you must remain in custody without bail. I am setting a bail eligibility hearing for you on March 6th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Do you understand everything I've told you as it relates to that matter, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then it looks like you're also here on a couple of warrants. In the matter ending in 183, you're here on a bench warrant for failing to appear at court. In that matter, you'll have court on March 5th at 8:30 in the morning, and you have a $500 bond. You're also here on a warrant out of Pima County for failing to appear there. In that case, you'll have court on March 4th at 8:30 in the morning in the Pima Consolidated Justice Court, and you have a $500 bond there. Finally, you're here on a warrant out of the Hacienda Justice Court for failing to pay fines or fees in your minor in possession of liquor case there. In that case, I'm appointing you a lawyer. Hold on. You'll have court on March 4th at 8:30 in the morning, and you have a $50 secured appearance bond.
Yeah, I don't think that's me, the last one.
Okay, it looks like it's associated to you from 2006.
Where's it at?
The Hacienda Justice Court.
Where's that at?
I can tell you the address. The address will be on your paperwork.
Yeah, I don't think that was me.
It's coming back to you, so talk to the judge when you get there. You're being held in custody anyway, but it looks like it's associated with you. Looks like it has your name.
I haven't heard anything about it before.
All right. Well, talk to the judge there when you see them, okay? Because it has your information, so it does look like it's you. It has your date of birth. Seems to match your information. So all that information is going to be in your paperwork, sir. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right. Thanks, sir. You can step to your left. Aldo Sanchez Fuentes, and then Edward Shirley to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Aldo Sanchez Fuentes, November 12, 1997.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on one allegation of theft of means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, one allegation of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, one allegation of unlawful control of a means of transportation, a Class 5 felony, one allegation of unlawful flight, a Class 5 felony, one allegation of possession of burglary tools, a Class 6 felony, one allegation of endangerment, a Class 6 felony, one allegation of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, one allegation of reckless driving, a Class 1 misdemeanor, one allegation of theft, a Class 1 misdemeanor, one allegation of aggressive driving, a Class 1 misdemeanor, alleged to have occurred on or between February 19th and February 26th of this year. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You'll have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Because it's alleged these offenses occurred while you were on pretrial felony release in CR 2024-129759, by law you must remain in custody without bail. I am setting a bail eligibility hearing for you on March 6th at 1:30 in the afternoon in the downtown Superior Court. Do you understand everything I've told you, sir?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No.
All right. Thanks, sir. You can step to your left. Edward Shirley, please, and then Leticia Guzman to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Edward Justin Shirley, 12/23/84.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on one allegation of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony. I have found probable cause to support that allegation, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You'll have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. You're also here on 2 probation violation warrants. A Term 1 violation has been alleged. They're saying that this new arrest constitutes a violation of your probation. I'm appointing you a lawyer in those cases as well, and you'll have court on March 6th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. In your probation violation matters, pursuant to Rule 7.2C, you're going to remain in custody without bail until at least your next court date on the 6th. In your new case, your bond is $2,500 secured appearance. Even though you have a bond in that new case, because you're currently being held without bail in your probation matters, even if you posted that bond today, you would not get released from custody. The only thing that would happen is you wouldn't get credit for the time you are serving in custody on that new matter. Do you understand everything I've told you, sir?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
Sure.
All right. Thank you, sir. You can step to your left. Leticia Guzman and then Adrian Valenzuela Ramirez, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Leticia Veronica Guzman,
Date of birth, please.
12/20/83.
Thank you. All right, I have you here on 3 warrants. In each warrant, you're here for failing to appear at your court dates. In the matter ending in, actually, it looks like in all of your matters, you're going to have court on March 5th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. In the matter ending in 726 and the matter ending in 865, You have a $1,500 secured appearance bond. In the matter ending in 081, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. So your total bond between all three cases is $3,500 secured appearance. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written instructions in your paperwork. It will include that should you post your bond and be released, you need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release from custody. Do you understand everything I've told you? Do you have any questions? All right, thank you. You can step to your left. Adrian Valenzuela Ramirez, and then Mario Ahamada to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Adrian Valenzuela Ramirez, October 28, 2004.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You were arrested on one allegation of taking contraband into a correctional facility, a Class 2 felony, one allegation of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, a Class 3 felony, one allegation of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, one allegation of disorderly conduct with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, a Class 6 felony. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You'll have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. You have a $10,000 secured appearance bond, and I'm ordering that you comply with all of the written instructions in your paperwork. I'm also ordering that should you post that bond and be released, that an electronic ankle monitoring device be installed prior to your release from custody, and that you comply with pretrial services restrictions as to when you can leave your home and where you can go. The orders in your paperwork will include that you're not to have contact with any alleged victim or witness, and you're not to possess any weapons. Do you understand everything I've told you, sir?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any questions?
I don't.
All right, thanks, sir. You can step to your left. Mario Ahamada, and then Garrett Brown to the chair by the door, please. And actually, Mr. Brown, I have to edit your paperwork, so if you just take a seat, we'll get Lisa Luteran to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Mario Rico Amada, May 29, 1990.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case, sir. You were arrested on one allegation of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, which is a Class 3 felony, and one allegation of disorderly conduct with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, which is a Class 6 felony. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You'll have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. You have a $5,000 secured appearance bond. I'm also ordering that should you post that bond and be released, that an electronic ankle monitoring device be installed. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork. It's going to include that you're not to have contact with any alleged victim or witness, and you're not to possess any weapons. Sir, do you understand everything I've told you?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
I'm just very sorry what I did. I shouldn't have did it. And when I do get out, I'm going to check in back to the mental health institution because I feel like because I graduated there for 7 months, 5 days a week. Guess this episode happened, so I think I should check back in when I'm done with this.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me that, sir. Good luck to you.
All right.
Oh, and I'm sorry. I do have to let you know you also have a warrant out of the El Centro Justice Court. It looks like it was for failure to pay fines or fees in a driving on suspended license matter. So in that case, you're going to have court on March 4th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm appointing you a lawyer there as well. You have a $50 secured appearance bond in that case, and I'm ordering that you comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork, okay?
Okay, if I do get bailed out, am I able to bail it? Because I got so much pain in my spine, surgery and everything on my lower back, L4, L5, and S1.
Okay.
And it's affecting constantly bad, and my mental health is affecting really bad right now too.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to walk around and focus too.
Understood. I'm sorry to hear that, sir. If you can't post your bond, the sheriff's office is responsible for your medical care and treatment, so make sure they know what medical issues you have going on, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, sir. Go ahead and step back out to your left. Lisa Lutran, and then Ismail Arlanes to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Lisa Luteran, 7/16/71.
Thank you, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name. I have you here on a new case. You are arrested on one allegation of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I am appointing you an attorney to represent you. You will have court on March 4th at 8:30 in the morning in the East Mesa Justice Court. Can we read print number 14? Thank you. You're also here on a probation violation matter. A Term 1 violation has been alleged. They're saying that this new arrest constitutes a violation of your probation. I'm appointing you a lawyer in that matter as well, and you'll have court on March 6th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. In your probation matter, you have a $3,000 bond. In your new case, you have a $1,000 bond. So your total bond is $4,000 secured appearance. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork. It's going to include that you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact with any alleged victim or witness. You're not to possess any weapons. You must obey any terms of any orders of protection that have been issued or may be issued. And you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release from custody. Do you understand everything I've told you?
I do, but I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
I live at Oasis Apartments with my mom, my 86-year-old mother, which is the victim in this case. So when it comes time for me to be released, whenever that may be, I'm not allowed to go home?
Correct.
To
not
my
right
apartment?
Now. Right, at least not right now, yes.
So when the next judge sees me before I actually get released, can I ask that judge to stipulate that? Because I live there. I pay bills there. All my stuff is there. And I'm my mother's caregiver.
Right. I understand that, but the allegation is that you were punching her. And so at this point, I don't find it appropriate for you to live with her or have contact with her at all. And I understand that's difficult if you previously lived there, but I can't order...
Well, and she's 86 years old and she has nobody to take care of her.
I understand that, but I'm not going to allow you to have contact with her right now. So if it's something... a circumstance where you think that the state needs to be contacted because she needs someone else to step in and care for her, that's something that'll have to occur. But you can't care for her right now given these allegations.
Okay, so when I actually go to court for this assault charge and get that settled through the courts, then that particular judge that handles that case is the judge I'm going to have to ask if it's okay for me to go home, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thanks. You can step to your left.
Okay.
Over here. You're going to see my partner, okay?
Ishmael, Arlenis, and then Brandon Papp to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Arianes Ismael.
Date of birth?
June 17, 1995.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on one allegation of criminal damage, a Class 6 felony. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You'll have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. You're also here on a probation violation matter. A Term 1 violation has been alleged. They're saying this new arrest constitutes a violation of your probation. I'm appointing you a lawyer in that case as well, and you'll have court on March 6th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. In your probation violation matter, your bond is $2,500. In your new case, your bond is $1,000. So your total bond is $3,500 secured appearance. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork. It's going to include that should you post your bond and get released, you need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release from custody. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir. You can step to your left. Brandon Papp, and then Amanda Musheki to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Brandon Tapp, 12175, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I have you here on a new case. You were arrested on one allegation of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and one allegation of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You'll have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. You're also here on a probation violation matter. A Term 1 violation has been alleged. They're saying this new arrest constitutes a violation of your probation. I'm appointing a lawyer in that case as well, and you'll have court on March 6th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. In your probation violation matter, you have a $1,000 bond. In your new case, you have a a $50 bond. So your total bond is $1,050, secured appearance. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written instructions in your paperwork. It's going to include that should you post your bond and be released, you need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release from custody. Do you understand everything I've told you, sir? Any questions?
No.
All right, thanks, sir. Amanda Mashecki and then Emily Shaw to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Manny C, 6493.
Thank you. I have you here on, it looks like 3 probation violation matters. In each case, a petition to revoke your probation has been filed. I'm appointing you an attorney, and you'll have court on March 6th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. In each matter, you have a $250 bond, so your total bond is $750, secured appearance. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork. It's going to include that should you post your bond and be released, you need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release from custody. Do you understand everything I've told you?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll have Emily Shaw and then Demetrius Winston to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Emily Shaw, June 26, 1984.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on 1 allegation of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, 1 allegation of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, 1 allegation of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, and 1 allegation of criminal trespassing, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You will have court on March 13th and March 17th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. I'm planning on releasing you in this matter to the supervision of pretrial services, which means you'll be released and you're going to receive an envelope. That envelope will have instructions on what you need to do in order to comply with pretrial services. I'm also ordering that you comply with the written orders in your paperwork. If you fail to comply or you fail to go to your court date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand everything that I've told you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. You can step to your left. Demetrius Winston and then Jasmine Alvarez to the chair by the door, please. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Demetrius Winston, 04/08/2005.
Thank you, sir. I have you here on a warrant out of the Goodyear Municipal Court for failing to pay fines or fees in your excessive speeding case there. You're going to have court on March 19th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in the Goodyear Municipal Court, and I'm planning to release you on your own recognizance, which means I'll release you as long as you promise to go to court and comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork. If you fail to do either one, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you promise to go to your court date?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thanks, sir. You can step to your left. Jasmine Alvarez and then Preston Hames to the chair by the door, please.
Evening, Judge.
Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Jasmine Kalani Alvarez, April 19th, 2002.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You were arrested on 1 allegation of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support that allegation, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You'll have court on March 18th at 9:30 in the morning in the White Tanks Justice Court. That address will be on your paperwork. I am planning to release you on your own recognizance, which means I'll release you as long as you promise to go to court and comply with the written instructions in your paperwork. If you fail to do either one, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Some of those orders are going to include that you're not to have contact with the alleged victim, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, and you must obey any terms of any orders of protection that have been issued or may be issued. You may not reside with the alleged victim, even if you are the owner or renter of that property. You are allowed 1 civil standby with local law enforcement if you need to return to the home in order to collect some of your essential belongings. You are also allowed, it looks like you share a child in common with the alleged victim?
Yes.
Okay, so you also are going to be allowed to communicate with the alleged victim in writing only. So like through text messages or emails, and only as it relates to the care and custody of your child, okay? So you can't talk about the case, you can't talk about other things, but if it's like, you know, who's picking him up, who has him this weekend, something, or her this weekend, that's allowed, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am, that was my only one.
All right. If you fail to appear at court, like I said, a warrant could issue for your arrest. You promise to go to court?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Any questions?
No, ma'am, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Preston Hames, please. And then after Mr. Hames, we'll need to take a brief break and we can clear the courtroom. Good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Preston Harrison Hames, 11/2/89.
Thank you. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on one allegation of possession of dangerous drugs for sale, a class 4 felony, or I'm sorry, a class 2 felony. I need to look at your paperwork. Hold on one second. Hold on just 1 second, sir. Okay. All right, can we reprint his? All right, we had to reprint his officers. We had to reprint his paperwork.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Sorry about that. So you're arrested on one allegation of possession of narcotic drugs. That's a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause to support that allegation. You were also arrested on one allegation of possession of dangerous drugs for sale, which is a class 2 felony. I did not find probable cause to support that allegation at this time. That doesn't mean that allegation necessarily goes away. The county attorney can still charge you with that. It just means that based on the limited information I received this afternoon, I couldn't find enough evidence at this time to support that allegation. But I did find probable cause as to the other allegation. So I am appointing you a lawyer. You're going to have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. You have a $2,500 secured appearance bond. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork. Do you understand everything I've told you, sir?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
I just have, in order to get out, I have to just post that bail.
Correct.
And I can post it through a bail bondsman with 10% of that, or?
Typically, that's what they're looking for. Every bonding company is different. You'll also want to check with the officers to make sure you don't have any other holds, because it looks like you had another, warrant that was floating out there for you. It looks like I saw you tried to file a motion to quash the warrant at one point. So I would check with the officers to make sure nothing else is holding you in here before you try and post your bond.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
No.
All right, thanks, sir. You can step to your left. All right. And then we'll need to, do we have Mr. Kirby in here, or is he held separately?
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
The juvie, is he in here, or is he?
The juvie is not in here yet.
Okay, and then, our last matter is a knock.
Yes, ma'am.
Or, I'm sorry, yeah.
After Mr. Brown, I'll bring the juvie in.
Okay, thank you. All right. We're ready for Mr. Brown, please. All right, sir, good afternoon. Please tell me your full name and your date of birth.
Garrett Anthony Brown, August 31st, 1983.
Thank you, sir. I have you here on a new case. You're arrested on one allegation of child abuse, a Class 4 felony. I have found probable cause to support that allegation, and I'm appointing you an attorney. You're also here on a grand jury warrant, as grand jury has met and indicted you on 2 counts of child abuse as Class 4 felonies alleged to have occurred on March 23rd of 2022. In both of these matters, I am appointing you a lawyer. You're going to have court on March 5th and March 7th at 8:30 in the morning, as well as on March 7th at 8:30 in the morning. In each of these matters, you have a $10,000 secured appearance bond. So your total bond is $20,000 secured appearance. I'm also ordering that should you post that bond and be released, that an electronic ankle monitoring device be installed prior to your release from custody, and that you comply with pretrial services restrictions as to when you can leave your home and where you can go. I'm also ordering that you comply with all of the written orders in your paperwork. It's going to include that you're not to return to the scene of any alleged crime or have contact with any alleged victim or witness. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to have contact with any minors whatsoever. And you must obey any terms of any orders of protection that have been issued or may be issued. Do you understand everything I've told you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. So I guess the 2022 incident, that happened. I talked to the detective, and we went back and forth on the phone, and we're supposed to meet, but I was at work. And then I didn't hear from him, since then. So I guess my kids went to my mom's, and then an incident happened with her, and the kids got back into my temporary possession. Literally, the caseworker came, I had to sign everything, so the kids were with me through the caseworker and through, I guess, the reservation up there. And then how am I supposed to know if I had that bench warrant if they gave me permission to my kids? And I have written proof of all that.
Right. So you're not here on that grand jury matter because there was a bench warrant. You weren't supposed to know about it. Grand juries are secret proceedings by their nature. So no one knows about the grand jury proceeding until they've issued their indictment. And then that indictment is secret until the person is arrested on it. So you're not here on that case. You weren't arrested because you didn't go to court. It's just that a grand jury issued an indictment against you.
Okay, so it's kind of like a warrant until obviously they came. Yes.
Right. So it's something that the police officers know about, but no one else is supposed to know about it. It's secret by its nature.
Okay, all right. All right, there's nothing I can do about it, but okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
No questions, ma'am.
All right, go ahead and step to your left, and they'll get you a copy of your paperwork.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sure. I'm gonna take him back and I'll grab the TV.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you. All right, good afternoon, sir. My name is Commissioner Lacey Fisher. We're going to do a quick hearing for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me your full name and your date of birth?
Arian Kirby, 3508.
Thank you. All right, I have you here on 2 probation violation matters. In both of your probation cases, a term 1 violation has been alleged. They're saying that your new case that you were seen on a couple of days ago is a violation of your probation. I'm appointing you a lawyer in both of those cases, and you'll have court on March 6th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. In both of your matters, pursuant to Rule 7.2C, you're going to remain in custody without bail until at least your next court date on the 6th. I do note, for the record, that this defendant is under the age of 18. The court has considered the factors contained in the Federal Juvenile Justice Delinquency and Prevention Act. The defendant is to be placed in the physical custody of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office jail until released by further court order. Sir, do you understand everything I've told you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what that means for you is, even though you might have a bond set in your new case, for example, because you're currently being held without bail in these probation matters, don't try and pay bonds in your other cases unless this gets changed. If you paid your bond in your other cases right now, you wouldn't get released from custody. The only thing that would happen is you wouldn't get credit for the days you are serving in custody on that matter.
Okay.
All right. Any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thanks, sir. You can step to your left. All right. This will conclude the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar. The court will stand in recess until 5 p.m.
Thank you.